Sweet. Alrighty then. What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Thank you, everyone who showed up and early and is here already. We did have a little bit of a late start today, more often than usual. We just had a bad a bad string of luck there with some tech issues. Essentially, the whole Zoom meeting was deleted. And anyway, hey, we're here. All right, we got a list as usual of performers, and if you're tuning in for the first time. Again, thanks for being here early. Thank you for your patience. Um, my name is Richie, David Marrufo. I'll be your host today. I'm the project director of the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series out of El Paso, Texas. And, got a little green behind me if celebrating St. Patrick's Day. We are going to celebrate, as always, with a little bit of poetry, prose, some music, both original and covers. So, uh, as always, if you guys are hanging out online with us, we definitely encourage you to comment in the live chat, be active, participate. We have a lot of performers here as well. I do want to give a shout out, shout out to Ben. We got Ed, Steven, Julian. We got Sandy in La Casa, all the regulars. Also, something I should probably do more often is give a shout out to, hold on a second here. Are we still good? Or did my internet stop? Okay. No, we're still good. Okay. The live stream looked like it delayed a little bit. Anyway, it's been a day of tech issues. Plus, I'm a little sick and under the weather. So it adds up. Anyway, do want to give a shout out to Kate and Cristal for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Thank you guys very much if you're listening. I know that Cristal, you're in the El Paso Juarez area and you're a writer. So, we talked about coming to the next writers night, which we had every other Tuesday, every other Wednesday. Proof and Press, come on through. This week, as far as BWOMS goes, we will be downtown at Mona Bar. Come on by. From what little little birdie told me that we might have a new collective of songwriters coming out to try some stuff, especially who are wanting to get into the scene. And it's the open mic is a perfect opportunity to get that live stage experience at a venue without necessarily having to go and get booked and play a full set. You try out a couple songs and just really get that experience of being on stage, the lights on you, like being in front of a crowd and how to interact with that crowd, like the crowd banter. All of these things are like intangibles sometimes when you're like just playing at home and it's good practice what I'm saying. So I'm looking to someone reached out to me essentially, right? And they're like, "Hey, we got a bunch of young songwriters who want to try stuff out." So that seems cool. Um, so that's tomorrow, and then last week was a marathon. I know so many of you guys who are here with us in the Zoom room to perform, and a lot of you guys watching online participated in at least one event last week, right? We had the online mic on Monday, we had Rosewood on Tuesday, we had Proof and Press Writers Night on Wednesday, and we had the debut event at Rally Point East on Thursday, and Jez killed it. Shout out to Jez. I knew she would, and I just ended up helping a bit just to help the night go smoothly. Uh, not every week's gonna be like that, and I'm kind of thankful because apparently I got sick at the weekend. Anyway, that's it for updates today. Follow our calendar. You can follow us at bwoms.com, and also our social media. In the case where stuff has to like change last minute, I appreciate. Oh, the waiting room. Did we get you in? Okay. Sorry. Okay. I think that's it as far as announcements. Uh, I'm working out this sickness right now, so I'm gonna be a little more subdued today, but I think it's fine. If you're joining us from the comfort of your homes, grab a drink, grab a snack, kick back, relax. We definitely encourage people to participate. Again, like I said, participate in the live chat so we know you're there. If you are an EPCC student by any chance and you're here for the down passport, the online QEP stuff, we do have directions in the description of the video. Okay, so. I think we're good to go. If you click, and also in the description is a link to sign up. So if you do feel like you want to share something, if you want to read something, then all you have to do is sign up, fill out the whole thing. There will be a link to join the Zoom meeting and hang out with us. Also, if you're just a little bit shy, but you're thinking about potentially reading, then hang out with us in the Zoom room, behind, it's always fun to be like behind the stage, behind the curtains and see how all little workings go on. And as always, we have like a after each show, we have a after party where we just kind of hang out and talk. And I usually disappear, but it's an opportunity to just kind of unwind and socialize. All right, so I think that's it. I'm nervously talking because it's been a hell of a last couple days, in a lot of ways, including right now. But we're gonna kick things off in Denver, where we've kicked off many shows. Like I said, I've been doing these since April of 2020. Wow. So we're gonna kick things off with Michael Sindler. Mike, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away, my friend. Hey, caught you off guard there. Sorry. There you are.
Yeah, I'm all good. I was just hoping I could get in there between the pins and move Julian, but that's okay. For y'all out there in YouTube land, never mind that statement. Um, I'm going to start as always by putting up my little thing saying lighthouseriders.org, wonderful organization. It cannot hurt to just look it up. It's not going to be something that is going to capture your information and cause your computer to blow up, I promise. But that being said, yeah, thanks for doing this, even though you're not at your best, Richie. Appreciate you doing it. I'm going to start with this one called On the Phone with Love. 25 minutes on the phone with love, talking family and frustration and poetry, skirting the most important hush syllables, erasure making sure connection will not be cut. What is not said can be clearer than the audible, evoking brightest joy and deepest melancholy. Each moment of communication echoes love. And then this is just kind of a weird one called Stupid Like a Painter. How funny to find out you were stupid like a painter, just the way Marcel prophesied before your birth. But would be, oh, excuse me, let me start that over. How funny to find out you were stupid like a painter, just the way Marcel prophesied before your birth you would be. But still, the ink inside your brain had to contact paper. Then you turned to words, and it occurred to you, so what if it's called silly? The pen fit in your hand better than any brush had ever done. Invisible portraits illustrate the most beloved or express the wild and savage, twisting syllables until they explode, then stick or run, coming together in communion, not unlike a marriage, not so different, but maybe not as stupid. And read this one, sort of going into the whole Women's History Month thing here. It's called Eve Had Adam. Did Eve have to masturbate? Could Adam find her sweet pink rose? Perhaps a banana was the forbidden fruit, and Adam's measure did not come close. Did they make up the bit about the tree to mask a case of unequal ecstasy? Was Adam ribbed for her expected pleasure? Does a bite make one wise or merely clever? They must have had been able to raise some Cain. Past that, the multiplication can't be explained. And I'll stop with my silliness and put on the hat now as I see Kit going, what the hell was that? Um, and I'll read some better poems. This one is by Anne Sexton called Her Kind. I've gone out, a possessed witch, haunting the black air, braver at night, dreaming evil. I've done my hitch over the plain houses, light by light. Lonely thing, 12-fingered out of mind. A woman like that is not a woman quite. I have been her kind. I have found the warm caves in the woods, filled them with skillets, carvings, shells, closet silks, innumerable goods. Fixed the summer suppers for the worms and the elves, whining, rearranging, and disaligning. A woman like that is misunderstood. I've been her kind. I've ridden in your cart, driver, waved my nude arms at villages going by, learning the last bright routes, survivor, where your flames still bite my thigh and my ribs crack where your wheels whine. A woman like that is not ashamed to die. I've been her kind. And moving up just a little bit, this is a piece by Kishwar Nahid called We Sinful Women. It is we sinful women who are not awed by the grandeur of those who wear gowns, who don't sell our lives, who don't bow our heads, who don't fold our hands together. It is we sinful women, while those who sell the harvests of our bodies become exalted, become distinguished, become the just princes of the material world. It is we sinful women who come out raising the banner of truth up against barricades of lies on the highways, who find stories of persecution piled on each threshold, who find that tongues which could speak have been severed. It is we, sinful women. Now, even if the night gives chase, these eyes shall not be put out, for the wall which has been raised, don't insist now on raising it again. It is we, sinful women, who are not awed by the grandeur of those who wear gowns. We don't sell our bodies, who don't bow our heads, who don't fold our hands together. Okay, well, a couple mistakes in there, but tried. Great poem anyway, even if I blew it. Okay, thank y'all.
All right, thank you, Mike Sindler. And it's kind of perfect ending with the cover poem with the hat combo. Because when you're done, it's like a little tip of the hat, right? Like, se acabó. Which kind of reminded me the other day, it's fun to go to poetry open mics and or just when anyone's reading poetry because it feels like people are doing magic, like how magicians go, and now for my next trick, and someone's like, and now for my next poem. There's a lot of that guidance going along, and that's a whole lot of fun. Speaking of magic, I'm kind of alluding to my tumble words at the end of the month, but we'll get to that. Sprinkle info throughout the night. But right now we're gonna go ahead and come back to El Paso for our next performer who, for many of us, got to meet for the first time last Thursday when he read in person at Rally Point Coffee East. It was super fun. He even got a really nice picture out of it that he's been using on social media and even here on Zoom. And for the fine people on YouTube, you can't see it, unfortunately, but maybe if you follow him, you can. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up Ed Gonzalez to the mic. Hey, Ed. It was good seeing you on Thursday.
Oh, hey, thank you, Richie. Yeah, it was fantastic. I had such a great time. Uh, just it was amazing. Yeah, Rally Point, that was amazing. And I got some rice leche latte. Oh man, I gotta go. I'm going back. It's delicious. Anyway, let's get back to business. I want to thank Barbed Wire for the open mic. And for the beautiful support that I received at Rally Point. I had two people to, offer to buy me drinks. Uh, um, and kudos. I have got two new things. Actually, one of the ones that I read at Rally Point was something I was still editing while I was in chairs. But I'm gonna read what I there, and I wrote a new one today, and I have two covers. So here we go. This one's entitled "Status Quo." Fists still raised, like they were in the 70s and the 80s, standing at the Los Angeles City Hall with my sister carrying signs as I sold my homemade normal buttons, then scattered when the riot police showed up. We also stood at the Maravilla projects in East LA while my brother adjusted his brown beret, and we listened to actors and activists spoke against the unjust until the riot cops showed up. All fists raised. He pulled me back and handed me his car keys, and he said, "I'll see you later," as they marched toward the batons. It seems not much has changed, except for our resistance. There is no quit, only fire. Okay, that was a new one. And thanks to the full moon last night, or a couple of nights ago, I've had some crazy, crazy dreams. So this one's entitled Luna Llena, or Full Moon. High praise and welcome every time she spins around. It is a reminder for me to slide off my shoes. Find some earth, preferably without any goat heads, to dig my feet in the soil and ground myself. She brings a wonderful dream time, usually with people that have gone to the reward. It is good to see and hang with them. Last night's blood moon of spring was grand, as I received a visit from my brother from another mother, Large Lewis. Our adventures were legendary. Always got along with cancers, or as he would say, pinche crabs. So aloha, buddy, and Luna, until next time. Okay, those are my two new ones. I also have two covers. So on goes the Wegman hat. This one is entitled We Lived Happily During the War by Ilya Kaminsky. And when they bombed other people's houses, we protested, but not enough. We opposed them, but not enough. I was in my bed. My bed, America, was falling. Invisible houses by invisible house by invisible house. I stood in a chair outside and watched the sun. In the 6th month, a disastrous rain in my house of money. In the street of money, in the city of money, and in the country of money. Our great country of money, we, forgive us, lived happily during the war. Right. And this one I've read before here, but it's one of my favorites and one of my favorite people on the planet. This one's entitled Wake by Pema Chodron. The Navajo teacher, the Navajo teach their children that every morning when the sun comes up, it's a brand new sun. It's born each morning. It lives for the duration of one day, and in the evening it passes on, never to return again. As soon as the children are old enough to understand, adults take them out at dawn, and they say, "The sun has only one day. You must live this day in a good way, so that the sun won't have wasted precious time." Acknowledging the preciousness of each day is a good way to live, a good way to reconnect with our basic joy. And that was Pema Chodron. Also want to shout out to the El Paso Poetry Group Workshop. We're on Facebook. Thank you very much for the time. Thank you everybody for listening. And I'm going to hang out and listen to everybody's wonderful work. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. As always, yeah, shout out to the Poetry Workshop. Hey, Dion made it to the Writers' Night this past Wednesday. That was really cool to see him there. And of course, Cassie did a great Tumble Awards, it seems like, this weekend, and looking forward to some of the work that inspired. Cassie will also be doing a project with us at the college at towards the end of the semester, which we look forward to as well. We'll share that as it comes out. Okay, we're gonna go and keep going, and we're gonna stick around in El Paso for quite a bit, in fact. So EP represent, hello, hello. But of course, if you guys are watching anywhere in the world, you're more than welcome to join us. Just be mindful of the time zone. Okay, so we are going to bring up. Let's see. Another crowd favorite. It's always great seeing them attend the events, Writers Night last week, as well as the Rally Point. Everyone, we got Lee Martinez Soto up next. MB Lee. All right, hey Lee.
Hi. Hi. All right. So I have a few pieces to share. I'm gonna start with kind of still work in progress, but I'm just gonna go for it. It's called Gender Fuckery for the Transfronterizo. I never questioned my gender identity throughout my childhood. There was no need. Being a tomboy meant I often dealt with comments made contemptuously about my appearance, my hobbies, my personality, and I used to embrace those. I took great pride when other kids would call me niño because I like my hair short, my clothes loose, often imitating cosplaying men. Machorra porque podía burlarlos jugando fútbol, and my fist could break through griddle and skin. Marimacha porque no me dejaba, my strength defined both in character and frame. As I grew older, I took these comments meant to put me back in my place as rebellion. I rejected femininity, put distance between me and girlhood and its closeness to womanhood, thinking it was because I was different, not like other girls. I was a damn pick-me, trying so hard to distance myself from those social and cultural entrapments that came with being assigned female at birth with disdain. But I could not escape them fully, no matter how hard I tried to fight them. Alongside those contemptuous remarks meant to denigrate my dissenting self, new words attached themselves to me. Puta, zorra, piruja, words enunciated with derision and hatred leaving the lips of both the boys, who had once taught me too masculine, one of them, and girls, who had once wrote me letters as my legs carried me through fields and cheered for me when they hid behind me as I safeguarded them from harm. Males make the rules and laws, women transmit them, wrote Gloria Ansaldúa. I felt so alone, caught in the middle, wanting to be liked, wanting to be wanted and desired for who I really was. I had cornered myself into the trap of self-hatred, internalized misogyny. The deconstruction only came once I was a country away, cruzando el bordo, removed from the sources of derision, in the relative safety of knowing no one and owing them nothing. I first learned of my self-hatred way before I had the words to describe its origins. Began building spaces where those who dare show the same derision I had been subjecting to felt shame, fear. Then the words came. For the first time, I questioned. My journey of gender expression is well documented somewhere on the internet, split between social media, chats, and forums. It started with clothes, secondhand loans from friends who entertained my ideas, then hair, every time growing shorter, and gone. Then the pronouns ella, él, him, her, ella, ellos, they, and it, and a list of many names. Back home, del otro lado, I was still performing womanhood to an extent. Mexicana, chicana, güerita. Names and pronouns hidden under skirts and dresses, bordados de colores con el nombre de ella. I split myself in the middle, mitad y mitad, but neither one nor the other. At first, I tried to appease family, culture, society by hiding. But for the first time, I was not alone, and a lot of my strength and courage came from that. Males make the rules and laws, women transmit them. Perhaps I was meant to break them. I tore apart at the seams where I could not restrain myself anymore, for I contain multitudes. All right, that's one. This one is sort of new. This one is just talking about top surgery, and no title so far. I have been in and out of doctors' offices for the past few years, telling truths and lies, planning, scheming for a surgery that I don't know if it will ever happen. From interrogations to standing topless in front of mirrors while yet another doctor, why is it always a man, sells me a vision of who I have always been. Don't tell my insurance but my hysterectomy was coded as necessary due to a non-existent family history of uterine cancer. Don't tell the hospital, but I never paid the 1,500 out-of-pocket deductible. I have had to make up illnesses, conjure my spouse's presence, be glad that breast cancer now exists in my family. How fucked up is that? Just to be believed and allowed to exist as I am, as I have always been. I know this is not a failing on my part, but the resignation and lack of willingness to keep trying definitely is. I am so tired, but I keep going through the motions, sending letters, submitting forms, calling care specialists who will each tell me a different story of what I need in order to have access to being myself, as I have always been. It's all behind a paywall now. $10,000 and you get to be yourself, as you have always been. Then this last one is actually old. I think it was in 2020, 2021 when I started writing this like Aztec afterlife poems. And this one I included into a manuscript that I have been submitting and I just never read it and I feel like I need to. The title is Apanovaloyan. It is a region of the Mictlan where once the heart had been removed from the deceased, they had to make the choice of leaving the river and continue on with their journey. So first in Spanish. Let your soul be another droplet, trickle down, down the darkened river. Let your soul ripple water adds its weight to the shallow, drown the soil. Let your soul meander, water full of lives once had, deaths once lived. Find the path where water meets shore and thread across the other side, where rest is within reach. Deja que tu alma sea otra gota cayendo hacia abajo, abajo, al oscurecido río. Deja que tu alma cree ondas en el agua, agregue su peso a zonas someras que ahogan el suelo. Deja que tu alma deambule por aguas llenas de vida, alguna vez teñidas y muertes vividas. Encuentra camino donde el agua se encuentra con la orilla y atraviesa al otro lado donde el descanso está al alcance. All right, that's it for me.
All right. Thank you, Lee. And I feel like my follow-up to that is always that was everything. Appreciate that. And if you want, I'll share your Substack, Linktree,
Yeah.
and
So
YouTube.
I'm on Instagram. You can find the link in bio there. So you can like just find me as cadáveres_literarios. On Facebook is Lee Martinez Soto. And on Substack is also under Lee Martinez Soto.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate that. And again, thanks for everyone tuning in. If you're just getting here, this is our online open mic. We are based out of El Paso, so you are going to see a lot of people from El Paso reading or the El Paso region. But of course, this is online, so we are going to have people from elsewhere too, and we welcome that. If you are listening from elsewhere, then all you need is internet connection and the Zoom app, and you can join us. We're going to go and keep going. Our next performer is also in El Paso and was read last week at our debut mic at Rally Point East. You often see her here online as well every Monday, and a great advocate and presenter for Tumble Words, the poet laureate of Tumble Words, if you will, as we always say. Let's go ahead and welcome Robin Schofield, and I'm glad we got the camera fixed too. All right, when you're ready, go and take it away.
Hey, Richie. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. And happy whatever day it is to you people who are watching in the future, I hope. And since it's Women's Month and St. Patrick's Day, I thought I would read, oh, where's my third poem? There it is. Some poems about women. And this first one is about a Native American woman who was the last of her kind, one of the last of the California Indians, Native Americans, sorry. And they called her Maria Better Than Nothing. That's what they called her, Juana Marie, the last survivor of one of the California Indian tribes, the Nicoleño. We don't know what they called themselves. Left on San Nicolas Island by herself for 20 years, she forgot others whom the Franciscans had transported into disease and slavery, their missions of charity. Found 2 decades later, quite by accident, dressed in bird skins, singing bird songs. After not hearing words or people, she forgot she was not a bird. She forgot words, not sound, not birds, not clothes. She forgot language, not song, not art. All right, and this one is about Abigail Smith Adams. It's called No Subservient Woman. Abigail Smith Adams wrote to John, "Your set of laws should include us as well, or we should rise up and speak for ourselves, vote for ourselves, and own ourselves." It has taken a century, but we are not chattel since the 1890s. We own ourselves and our property now. We can choose whether to have children. We can apply for a credit card since the 1970s, thanks to RBG. Don't we have rooms of our own now? She sheds and such. A century after our great-great-grandmothers, such as Susan B. Anthony, went to jail for voting, the ownership of our bodies is again in doubt, assailed by pious men of dubious character in the Congress and below, demanding ultrasound wands be thrust up into our vaginas if we demand to own ourselves, including reproduction. Will the question never be over, whether we can choose to have children or not? When we own ourselves, some men are afraid. When we own ourselves, our rights cannot be taken. Oh, but they can. They can be taken when 3 Catholics and 2 abusers sit with the Supremes, when a seat has been stolen from the Democrats. Your set of remarkable laws, she said. She said they were remarkable. And then this poem I can hardly take credit for, since it was kind of a message from Emily Dickinson. So it's called Occasion of an Unopened Bloom. One message I sent on a bee wing, fragile nature in all her mathematic finery, her most precious stones saved for evening time, fire laced. The bumblebee drinks the flower, gravity unremarked. The pistol in the petal, the pinpricks of the 6 thread-like legs, and this reveals what? Burger, bungler, barker, beehive keeper, too. Tell me. Frost on the window, the circle squared. One letter to be changed, if only you would come. Assuaged with sherry, as you might surmise, one finds, after all, how to survive the harsh raiment of a hard frost, the long sweep of bitten linen, bitter lemon that stood loaded in the corner. Sunbeam and moonray alike to me now, honey nor more than wine. No longer a grave matter that the harder the frost, the steadier the crystal, and soonest melted is nature betrayed, springtime cheated. What worries have I in the grave? I am the stuff of emeralds. Seeds fall from above. And that's all I know, minute to minute, the bursting open. So that was some years ago that I saw Emily Dickinson, and she sent me that message. And Now I want to honor both Women's Month and St. Patrick's Day by reading a poem by Evan Boland. And she was let's see, some university in California for a while, and never got to meet her, but it was she was an excellent poet and from Ireland. And this one is called Quarantine. It's from her book Against Love Poetry. In the worst hour of the worst season of the worst year of a whole people, a man set out from the workhouse with his wife. He was walking, they were both walking north. She was sick with famine fever and could not keep up. He lifted her and put her on his back. He walked like that, west and north, until at nightfall, under freezing stars, they arrived. In the morning, they were both found dead, of cold, of hunger, of the toxins of a whole history. But her feet were held against his breastbone. The last heat of his flesh was his last gift to her. Let no love poem ever come to this threshold. There is no place here for the inexact praise of the easy graces and sensuality of the body. There is only time for this merciless inventory. Their death together in the winter of 1847. Also what they suffered, how they lived, and what there is between a man and a woman, and in which darkness it can best be proved. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Back to you, Richie.
All right. Thank you, Robin. All right. Hold on. Let me get back here. That caught me off guard. You were so quick with it. Um, okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for reading those. For those of you who are new, you may notice that a lot of people are reading what's called a cover poem, and that's just a nice tradition that we have. This is a great way to give tribute to authors that we're reading right now, currently reading or admire, or that fit in somehow with something thematic to the time. Okay, so let's see. Let me look at the list. Next up, we have David, who is joining us 5,907 miles away from Galileo's middle finger. Yo, what's up? But yeah, David's been coming through to the Writers' Night and open mics as well, so it's great to have them online as well. Without further ado, David, take it away. Hey.
Awesome. That was, yes, so 5,907 miles away from where I am is Galileo's mummified middle finger in the Galileo Museum in Florence. And I'm going to read some poems about space and also feelings. So this first one is called Gemini 8. I am a Gemini, not in an astrological sense, but in an astronautical sense. Specifically, I am Gemini 8 at approximately 23:45 UTC on the opposite side of the planet to any form of human connection, tumbling through the black void of space at 296 degrees per second. I'm panicking, hyperventilating, sobbing uncontrollably, and trying everything I can to bring the craft back under control, but I'm not Neil Armstrong. I'm not even David Scott. I'm just David. I have no clue what I'm doing. I know that every panicked breath sucks away my oxygen supply. Every desperate yank of the control stick throws precious fuel into the ether, and it just keeps tumbling faster and faster. I know I have to stop it if I want to survive, but I don't know how. This next one is some old shit. It's called Radio Silence. I am Michael Collins, stranded behind the dark side of the moon, alone, out of reach, touch, radio contact, human contact, out there, stranded and reaching. This last one is from my book, The Chair, A Cluttered Pile of Neuroqueer Poetry. It's called Crater. I am the crater, the I am the crater, the rubble from the explosion that I made, from the feelings I held inside, coated in the ash of radioactive emotions that failed to shatter, feelings that will burn like embers for ages to come. And then I'm going to do a cover poem from Franny Choi's book, The World Keeps Ending and the World Goes On. It's a book that I got partway through and then am building up the courage to continue reading because holy shit, does this hit hard. This poem is called Who Died and Made You American? In the afterlife of apocalypse, my people, too, are settlers of a theft. Pay me like a man whose ancestors burned down the homes of Pequot children. Deserve, deserve. What a sad little word. I am an upstanding citizen of a country far from earned. I'm a child of immigrants, of strategic importance, of imports from one immolation to another. Pay my honest mother in taxes and guilt. If the land in me could speak to the land I live on, what would it say? Maybe I'm sorry, or where does it hurt? My cheeks are stuffed with sweet grass and sook. Maybe I'm only ever singing that awful song, oh beautiful, oh beautiful. And it is, some days, driving through the untouched hills to the place where I'm paid. Yeah, it was a short set because boy howdy, am I feeling some feelings about the state of the world. You can find me at Blue Sky at poet friend dot bsky dot social. You can find me on Instagram at Poetic Universal Friend, and you can find me on Substack at Poetic Universal Friend, where I have now a paid tier. You don't get anything extra, because I think I think rich people should get more access to shit. Um, but yeah, if you want to pay me for existing and writing poetry, you can find me there. Also, the Ryobi lightsaber is almost done. I'm going to be posting that hopefully by the end of this week. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. And definitely recommend the Substack. They definitely keep up with the updates and I've been getting them. So that's pretty cool to see. Also, you can catch another series that we do. It's called Fresh Cuts. Lee, who read earlier, was featured in an episode as well. But yeah, the most recent episode features David reading 3 poems, and I will link that right now for you guys in YouTube land here. Hold on. Let me paste it so you guys can check it out. As always, we want that to get pushed out there, and support the work. You can also find a link there to the book and a lot of other David stuff, the Substack, as well as Blue Sky. Okay, cool. Let's see. We are going to go ahead and travel outside of El Paso now, again, thanks to the magic of internet and Zoom. And we're going to check in with Doc Janning in South Euclid, Ohio. Doc, when you are ready, go ahead and take it away. Let me see. Yeah, there you are. Hey,
I am ready. Thank
cool.
you. This first poem is titled Oriflamme. And an oriflamme is a type of banner or rallying point. The word comes from medieval French. Sun, galactic traveler, guide of Earth and solar system. Oriflamme of life in day, silver of moon at night. You illuminate and warm, sharing your energy in adiabasis and in coalescence. You sing in all the silent sounds of light, ancient songs of seasons and hymns of time. And we who look upon you and enjoy what you impart, create poetry of your glory. This is titled Cursum Perficio. It's Latin meaning a completed course. Infinite moments course through life on pathways of twists and turns, pathways of unknowns, pathways to an unguessed, unknown future. And we walk, each traveling our own pathway, be it long or short, to our own rainbow's end, and undreamed, the future waits. Since today is St. Patrick's Day, a limerick titled Spokane. There was a young man from Spokane who, when with the ladies, said, I can. But when he was gone, there was no need to fawn. And they declaimed with one voice, he can't. And now a cover poem by our National Poet Laureate, Ada Limon. Out here, there's a bowing even the trees are doing. Winter's icy hand at the back of all of us. Black bark, slick yellow leaves, a kind of stillness that feels so mute, it's almost in another year. I am a hearth of spiders these days, a nest of trying. We point out the stars that make Orion as we take out the trash. The rolling containers, a song of suburban thunder. It's almost romantic as we adjust the waxy blue recycling bin until you say, man, we should really learn some new constellations. And it's true, we keep forgetting about Antilia, Centaurus, Draco, Lachetta, Hydra, Lyra, Lynx. But mostly we're forgetting we're dead stars too. My mouth is full of dust and I wish to reclaim the rising, to lean in the spotlight of streetlight with you toward what's larger within us, toward how we were born. Look, we are not unspectacular things. We've come this far, survived this much. What would happen if we decided to survive more, to love harder? What if we stood up with our synapses and flesh and said, no, no to the rising tides, stood for the many mute mouths of the sea, of the land? What would happen if we used our bodies to bargain for the safety of others, for Earth? If we declared a clean night, if we stopped being terrified, if we launched our demands into the sky, made ourselves so big people could point to us with the arrows they make in their minds, rolling their trash bins out after all of this is over. Thank you.
Oh, what a great piece. Thank you, Doc. And how can people follow you online if they're just tuning in for the first time ever and want to do that?
I am just, you can find me on Facebook. I really don't indulge in anything else at the moment.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doc. And yeah, man, Ida Limon, that's powerful, powerful pieces. And I love that you had the cap today, the tradition, you know? Uh that means if you start with a cap for the cover poem, do you have to take it off and then put it back on again, or just, you know, silly things. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We still got plenty of performers. We are going to come back to El Paso and also switch it up a little bit. We got some music right now. And if you've been here before, you've had the pleasure, I hope, of hearing him. But if you haven't, then this is your first time. You're in for a treat. We have Steven Molina up next, Scuba Tanks Music. And Steven, when you're ready, go and take it away, my friend.
Yo, yo, check, check. All right. How's everyone doing? Happy Monday. Here we go. One cover, one original. Shout out to Google Dolls. Touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is you. Sooner or later it's over, and I don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's made to be broken. I just want you to know who I am. And you can't find the tears that ain't coming, or the moment of truth in your life. Everything feels like the movies. Yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's made to be broken. I just want you to know who I am. just want you to know who I am. Oh, I just want you to know who I am. I just want you to know I am. I just want you to know I am. I just want you to know who I am. Cool. All right, we got one more for you. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't need this. All right, okay. This is a Mountain Vibes song. I don't think I've ever played it acoustic, so it should be fun. Western corner of the city I lay, oh, another 8 to 5, but the clock's still broken. Oh, Lord knows I need a break, but I still gotta pay rent. Heaven sends. Me and my friends been drinking all day. Gotta move, got a gig to play. Oh, Lord knows I need a break, but I can see my way out. But there I go again. Help me find my way out. This town will never break. It was forged in iron hands. This town will never break. It was forged in iron hands. And Eastern corner of the city I lay, oh, another 8 to 5, but the clock's still broken. Oh, Lord knows I need a break, but I still gotta pay rent. Heaven sent. Me and my friends been drinking all day. Gotta move, got a role to play. Oh, Lord knows I need a break, but I can see my way out. But there I go again. Help me find my way out. This town will never break. It was forged in iron hands. This town will never break. It was forged in iron hands. This town will never break. It was forged in iron hands. And world that I Thank you very much. Appreciate your times. If there's anything you want to check out more of, hit me up on Instagram, Scuba Tanks Music. There's a couple albums on there in the link tree. We'll keep this baby going. Richie, as always, my man. Appreciate you. And happy Monday.
That's right. Happy Monday, Steven. Scuba Tanks, okay, not to be confused with Hooba's Tank. And I saw a lot of people commenting about the nostalgia of the first one, but I definitely had a lot of nostalgia for the second song. When Mountain Vibes was playing, and there was a particular time period where you guys had a steady, regular gig at Dead Beach, the downtown location, and that also just happened to be kind of like a date night spot for me. So that always brings back like some kind of like nice little memories of those times, simpler times even. But yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for busting that one on. That's a really fun one that you guys wrote and performed. All right, let's go ahead and again, thanks for everyone who is tuning in and hanging out with us in the live chat. Happy to be here again. If you are an EPCC student here for the Tejano Passport credit program, then check out the link in the description for instructions and essentially just watch the show and then send me an email, which is also mentioned in the description. Okay, so next up is someone who is always mentioned by name early on in the show and throughout the show, which carries a lot of clout. He's been called many things recently, like important to the literary scene last week, and hosts as well. Almost had to do a pinch hit performance today. If I wasn't feeling too well, and I'm feeling a little better as this thing goes on, but he almost hosted. With that said, though, he's been killing it, hosting at Old Sheepdog as well. Without further ado, we've got Mr. Monday Night, Kit Ren. All right, let's switch that over to you. There you go.
All right. Thank you very much, Richie. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Stephen, for that wonderful version of a song I've sort of come to terms with. Because I used to hate the Goo Goo Dolls because they had the career that my favorite band, The Replacements, deserved. But I've had to come to peace with how history unfolded. Don't we all? Well, maybe we don't. Maybe we can make war about how history unfolded. But anyway, at the concierge desk of the Nightmare Hotel, some of my dreams are bad ideas. I safely watch them play out like I would watch a sun bear clamber up his tree at the zoo. Some of my dreams are warnings. They are not prophetic, though. They are staid and matter-of-fact, like the training video at a chemical factory. I try to play it safe. I try to encourage my dreams to be slightly altered memories, deleted scenes and storyboards of a plausibly altered past. But I can only buy what he offers me. The concierge of the Nightmare Hotel keeps smiling, but his eyes keep doing other things. His eyes are not even unified in their mandate as one rolls to the ceiling. I stiffly and formally say, I would like the sex dream, please. And he says, do you want to make it weird? We can make it weird. I'm aware. He offered to let me die once. In our brief negotiation, I extracted no pain and no blood. I watched outside my body as I was electrocuted by a faulty headset. There was a total silence that followed. It was a silence that weighed something. And when I woke up, I was startled, dismayed, untrusting of the life after death. The world now holds true, but when it devolves into clicks and fuzz like a UHF television turned with malice, I think again of the silence of the tomb, which I had for about 10 minutes. I want it again. I would not abuse this gift. It would be orienting, a factory reset that turns annoyances back into novelties. But I know how I must sound to you. Like the casualty in every anti-drug PSA. And the concierge at the Nightmare Hotel is far too eager to give me what I want. And this one pairs well because it's also about a weird dream. Dream number 44, Rude Boy. In my dream, Rihanna was upset with me. We were at the same high-end social gathering. They had champagne, they had caviar. They had those little sandwiches that are rolled up like pinwheels. I was about to unroll one and eat it like a ham and romaine fruit by the foot when Rihanna made a scene. Told me to get out. And I did. Because it came to me within the dream as a memory. She was right. I had, after all, called off our engagement and not explained my reasoning. I thought I was holding her back. I thought she needed to be free. As I mentioned, I had not said any of this to her. She was left with the impression I was just a flake, another self-important jackass. She was through with poets. I was not in a position to argue. I know how it looked, how I looked, with 2 feet of ham dangling from my mouth like an aardvark's tongue. The bar is playing Rihanna, and the bartenders were children when SOS came out. And I am full of regret over things that never happened. Choices I wasn't even presented with, not even within the convoluted timeline of my dream. I am sorry, Dream Rihanna. It sounds like I was trying to do the right thing. See what I mean? About making it weird? They'll get you. That's how they get you. So something that's still in the lab, kind of. This was not anywhere close to finished, but you know how it gets. All right, mumble transition. I think that we, taken to broadly mean the political left, have made a strategic error in how we treat shame. We got rid of it entirely, and now we have nothing to control the millions of unashamed and unabashed. They are all doing the villain's dance in the middle of the street, ignoring the crosswalk, ignoring the lights. People used to take pains to disguise their wants as moral. It was annoying for those of us who want less, but there was strategic value in making everyone's id sit and do paperwork. Now the richest man with a shadow government at his command is complaining that the women in video games aren't hot anymore. Get a fucking life. People used to be ashamed. People used to hope that nobody knew what they thought. They did the villain's dance in a locked room in their own house. And now they do it in churches. I tried to get some boss chicken, and the cashier started doing the villain's dance. I looked behind me for support. Everyone else was doing it too. They dumped the trash can at my feet. The villain's dance causes all kinds of destruction, but none of it means anything. None of it even gets acknowledged. I want to talk about football without someone else talking about gambling. I want to look at a pretty woman without a bot farm in Moldova trying to tell me what she looks like naked. I have no interest in sainthood, but devils sure are fucking tedious. Everywhere I look, they're doing the villain's dance. Ah, One thing about me, you never have to guess where I stand. So, okay, so cover poem. St. Patrick's Day, Seamus Heaney. Y'all get it, right? Casualty by Seamus Heaney. He would drink by himself and raise a weathered thumb toward the high shelf, calling another rum and black currant without having to raise his voice, or order a quick stout by a lifting of the eyes and a discreet dumb show of pulling off the top. At closing time would go in waders and peaked cap into the showery dark, a dull-kept breadwinner, but a natural for work. I loved his whole manner. Sure-footed but too sly, his deadpan sidling tact, his fisherman's quick eye and turned observant back. Incomprehensible to him, my other life. Sometimes on the high stool, too busy with his knife at a tobacco plug and not meeting my eye in the pause after a slug, he mentioned poetry. We would be on our own and always politic and shy of condescension. I would manage by some trick to switch the talk to eels, or lore of the horse and cart, or the provisionals. But my tentative art, his turned back watches too. He was blown to bits out drinking in a curfew others obeyed. 3 nights after they shot dead the 13 men in Derry. Paris 13, the walls said, Bogside nil. That Wednesday everyone held his breath and trembled. It was a day of cold, raw silence, wind-blown surplice and soutane, rained-on, flower-laden, coffin after coffin seemed to float from the door of the packed cathedral like blossoms on slow water. The common funeral unrolled its swaddling band, lapping, tightening, till we were braced and bound like brothers in a ring. But he would not be held at home by his own crowd, whatever threats were phoned, whatever black flags waved. I see him as he turned in that bomb-defending place, remorse fused with terror in his still knowable face, his cornered, out-faced stare blinding in the flash. He had gone miles away, for he drank like a fish, nightly, naturally, swimming towards the lure of warm lit-up places, the blurred mesh and murmur drifting among glasses in the gregarious smoke. How culpable was he that last night when he broke our tribe's complicity? Now, you're supposed to be an educated man, I hear him say. Puzzle me the right answer to that one. I missed his funeral. Those quiet walkers and sideways talkers, shoaling out of his lane to the respectable purring of the hearse. They move in equal pace with the habitual slow consolation of a dawdling engine. The line lifted, hand over fist, cold sunshine on the water, the land banked under fog. That morning I was taken in his boat, the screw purling, turning indolent fathoms white. I tasted freedom with him. To get out early, haul steadily off the bottom, disbrace the catch and smile as you find a rhythm working toward you, slow, mile by mile, into your proper haunt, somewhere well out beyond. Dawn-sniffing revenant, plotter through midnight rain, question me again. That was Casualty by Seamus Heaney, favorite of mine. And at the Tumblewords Project, you'll see another favorite of mine, one that you've already seen today. David Lateef will be presenting their presentation on the mundane and profane. It's going to get the people going. You can find me on Instagram at KitRenaway and at Blue Sky under the same handle. We don't talk about that other site anymore. I have a belletristic football blog at kofi.com/KitRen. I just burped. I am narrating my life as I live it. I'm confirming right now that I'm going to host an Old Sheepdog the last Thursday of this month, which is 18/19, the 27th. Old Sheepdog's got a lot of great things, do a lot of great things in the community. And that's going to be another week where we have the proof and press, so it's going to be another crazy week right before Richie hosts Tumblewords on the 29th, which will be, crossover event to beat the band. Speaking tangentially of Ireland, our presenter at Tumblewords last week, Cassie Holguin Pettinato, has won a fellowship in Ireland and she's got a GoFundMe going just to keep her well fed while she's over there, because transportation's taken care of, but creature comforts aren't yet. So I'm going to put that in the YouTube chat and in the Zoom chat so folks can give if they want, because yeah, that's quite an opportunity, and we want to make sure she's got some stuff taken care of while she's there. But I'm going to hand the mic back to Richie, because I've been talking for far too long. So take it away.
Okay, good, man. I was getting the hook ready. Just kidding. Thank you for that, Kit. Definitely want to support our writers like that, and so we'll figure some stuff out for that as well. Um, yeah, if you guys the last Thursday of every month is Old Sheep Dog. Yeah. But speaking of Thursdays, this Thursday I'm gonna be performing in downtown El Paso with a live jazz band. Billy Towns on keys. He was just recently accepted into the or awarded and recognized in the El Paso Black Hall of Fame. Um, David Rodriguez, who is a Cubano who is killer on bass, and Eddie Provencio, who was part of this band that I'm wearing, Riboflavin, one of El Paso's classic hip hop jazz ensembles. And I'll be spitting some poetry, spoken word, alongside two new recruits. Some of you have maybe had the pleasure of meeting them before, Inanna and Ishtar, who will be throwing down some poetic bars. He writes in couplets, so he thought it could be a good fit, as well as Kiwi, who has read here a couple times, rarely, and then also read at Old Sheepdog last month. And so come on through. That is Thursday, March 20th. We'll be performing from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. International Bar. That is downtown El Paso. Come on through. It's always a really fun time. Jazz is just about expression, and the solos that these guys play is so wicked. It's just nice to have a space to do this kind of thing. And I've posted about that on my personal page, where you can follow me, Dead Wall Reveries. And as Kit alluded to, I got the Tumblewords Workshop, A Muse and a Maze, writing as puzzle, mystery, and magic. All right, we'll talk more about that as time goes on, but we're going to go ahead and bring up our next performer, who I am sure has been waiting patiently. Okay, also, I was just making sure that you were here. That was stalling. I'm a pro at it. Anyway, Cassie is joining us from Canada. Cassie, what is up? Are you here with us? This is the seance version. Hey, what's up?
Hi, Richie, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Okay, so I'm gonna dive right in here. Um, I thought I had absolutely everything queued up, but I better double check because it doesn't look like I do. Okay. This first piece is called, tentatively titled, because it's very new. Tentatively titled Capable. I used to look for, I'm gonna start again. Don't ask me why, but I am. Okay. Capable. I used to look for reprieve in nature. Now, when moss first grazes my foot in the forest, I look for release of desire to gain anything. I used to look for reasons why I couldn't do something well enough, scrutinize the precision of my hand under a microscope. Now I release the need to. So what if the brushstrokes don't reflect a grand worth? So what if my worth becomes untied from what I can do? So what if all I can do is play and learn to play better, with less assessment, with abandon that floods the room, leaves me floating on top, not a fulfilling purpose in sight? So what if voluptuous usefulness and awe-inducing precision of hand sink to the bottom? So that's my first piece. And the second one, again, I thought I had it right in front of me. Just one moment here. All right. Sorry about that. This second piece is called Darkness's Softer Hand. You may encounter a place with a rather serene garden gnome, perched on soft earth, enveloped in temperate, humid air that clings to the weight of your unease, but is only ruffled by measured rain. There you won't find any beaming sunshine, but darkness is softer and a pause between the smooth curves of pulsing delight and the jagged edges of unrelenting despair. A rest stop that holds your torso tenderly as you face inward, share a mossy wooden bench with your unease, and let your tears melt with the iridescent droplets of companion rain, and wait for the next bus to arrive. All right, and then have, I believe, one more original here. Just gotta, again, double check that I have it in front of me. Okay, so this is called, also tentatively titled, apparently I'm very unsure about these titles today, but this is called Intertwined and Alive. Would you rather be untethered from Earth, no longer troubled by the ever-surfacing pangs of lost love, as you drift into clouds where nothing but air can touch you, then be tied to the soil of the garden bed we call being human, where we share in nutrients, deep emotional ties rooted beneath each of us? Yes, we can't escape the jagged pains that come from the ties to one another's root systems, but there is an expansive, breathing beauty there, beauty in being deeply affected, of the capacity for the sharp tingle of our interminglings to course through our veins as we share emotional resources, entrenched in the rich intimacy of contact, hearts ever pressed, enmeshed as one, through the reaching of hungry vines after vibrant contact. Attachment is your tether to beauty, grief your lifeline, vital for keeping earth-drenched interdependence alive. Without it, your roots would lose their ties to the rich soil of interconnection. To be free from grief's weight, one would have to unravel from the burdened pulse of humanity's interwoven tapestry. Okay. So that's what I have for originals this evening. I have a couple covers here, or at least one. This first cover is called Don't Hesitate by Mary Oliver. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give in to it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not very kind. We are not wise and not very often kind, and much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back, that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or the power in the world. It could be anything, but very likely you notice it in the instant where love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb. All right, I believe I'm going to leave it there for this evening. If you are intrigued to occasionally see some of my writing, I do infrequently post on my Instagram at Relentless Intrigue. If you'd like to check me out there. All right, thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone.
Sweet. Thank you, Cassie. As always, appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get back into the spotlight there. or something like that. All right. Yeah, as always, appreciate it. We check in on everything over here. I think we just had a name added to the list. Very cool. Um, we have oh yeah, we got Terry Rose Jurtson up next, who's joining us from a car. That's what she wrote down. So soundproof, and everything. So Terry, after that is going to be Julian. Hey Terry, how you doing today? What's up? What's up?
I didn't write that. Someone else wrote it, but it's funny. Probably Kit, right?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess Kit wrote. Yeah, okay, fair.
yeah, because I had called, or I had, when you went away for a minute to do something, sorry, Beyondly, I was already coming back from another live event, and I was driving for an hour. So I said, I'm going to be driving for an hour, so I guess stick me at the end, because I was in a car. So anyway, while you guys were talking, and while I want to write down every time I have a thought about a poem, to write it down, like, so I can get to it later, to write about whatever the thought is. And then if I don't write it immediately, it goes out of my head for a really long time and may never come back. So I started to write a list of things that I want to write poems about. So that's what I'm going to read and get to the top of this list of ideas for poems. Buttons fell off my coat at Shirley's funeral. In Paris and Switzerland, I got lost many times and at a disadvantage not speaking the language. Google Translate saved my ass. Female robots granting sexual favors. What about us? Can't get the picture of Elon Musk kissing his picture perfect creation, robotic woman, on the mouth out of my mind. The creation that had the demeanor of a drunken woman, I guess he still needs to feel like he's taking advantage of something else. It's Women's Month. It's St. Patty's Day. Sexual favors, masturbation, humans' never-ending craving to be satisfied. Drag queens, idolization, living near the beach. The never-ending winds of brigantine. My ex-friends of 30 or more years. How I hate coming home to you. I miss my alone time, freedom. I want to leave here and never return. I'm afraid of lack of connection. I do not want to die alone. I miss my friends. I'm afraid of drowning in the murky ocean waves engulfing my lungs in my bulky human body. I long to have gills and be able to breathe underwater indefinitely and have a mermaid tail to glide effortlessly through the waves. I want to sing like a siren, capturing the hearts of men. I miss my younger form, but never appreciated it then. I miss my babies in my arms before they grew up and tired of a mother's love. So that's my list of things that I want to write poem about. I'm really tired of Donald Trump and all his bullshit. So I'm not going to even give him the time of day right now. But I'm going to say two things, and they're kind of like jokes. A pimp walks into a Catholic church. I'm not going to finish because if you know what happened, if you heard that on the news, then you know how that ended. And the next one is, why, when people meet a strong woman, do they say she has balls? Why are balls the symbols of strength? They shrivel up when it's cold, and they make men cry when they're kicked. And so that's the end of my rant.
All right. Thank you, Terry. That was a quick, abrupt ending. It threw me off guard. All right. Appreciate it. And thanks to Kid for helping sign up. We are going to continue on with the night. We did have a couple people added, including the next performer who is joining us from Malaysia. As always, we've got Julian Matthews up next. Julian, hey, I'm glad you made it here with us today and on the sign up sheet. So when you are ready, go ahead and I'll wait for you I've got the sharing enabled. Yeah, there you go. Hey, all right. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks, Richie. Scab. I love you like stitches love a wound. When the threads are out, the scar is for life. The keloid fades, but this fleshly binding is forever. Love is both the hurting and the healing. Breaking news. Love isn't a window, it's the pain. Love isn't an open door, it's the passage of time. Love isn't the courting, the ring, the threshold lift. Love, if anything, is the threshing, the winnowing for the granary. It's the chafing of places indiscreet. Love is friction. Love blisters. Love burns. Therein lies the rub. You can't wait around for love to be patient or kind or be hopeful of its return. Reciprocation is a short two-way street. Love is the long drive, passing streetlight after streetlight. Darkness, then another, darkness, then another. Love claims its toll down windy, unpaved roads. Love doesn't care of your comings or its leaving. Love is not blind, but plays dumb to needy pleading. Love, nevertheless, is evermore, the call of nevermore, unheeded in never, never land. Love is the laceration, the bleeding and the scab after. Love is the cleaver and the cleaving. Love isn't prejudice on who it hurts, who it band-aids, or who it unravels. In love's wake, you only hear out in the distance a cauterizing cackle. And the second one is called The Anvil in the Well. Your heart is a wishing well, your mind an anvil. Between the two, I hear the clatter of hammer on horseshoe, the clink of loose change. All these well-trodden phrases pounded into newly minted title lines sprung from decanted yearnings through the shaft of rejected nays and the fountainhead of yay, yay, yays that keep you going. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Julian. And of course, you can follow Julian's work on Linktree, which I will post here for you guys. Give me a second here. Uh, very cool, as always. I love getting to read these. For those of you on YouTube chat, there is the link there. Cool. All right. Also joining us today from Falls Church, Virginia, we have Wall Poet who made it through, and that's always a treat. So when you're ready, Wall Poet, take it away. All right, man. Good to see you.
All right. Hey, how y'all doing? Um, Sorry I made it late, but I have some pieces. So the first one is a cover piece, and then I have some other ones. All right. The first one is a cover piece by Bukowski. So I really like it. Okay, so this one's So You Want to Be a Writer. If it doesn't come bursting out of you in spite of everything, don't do it. Unless it comes unasked out of your heart and your mind and your mouth and your gut, don't do it. If you have to sit for hours staring at your computer screen or hunched over your typewriter searching for words, don't do it. If you're doing it for money or fame, don't do it. If you're doing it because you want women in your bed, don't do it. If you have to sit there and rewrite it again and again, don't do it. If it's hard work just thinking about doing it, don't do it. If you're trying to write like somebody else, forget about it. If you have to wait for it to roar out of you then wait patiently. If it never roars out of you, do something else. If you first have to read it to your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your parents or anybody at all, you're not ready. Don't be like so many writers. Don't be like so many thousands of people who call themselves writers. Don't be dull and boring and pretentious. Don't be consumed with self love. The libraries of the world have yawned themselves to sleep over your kind. Don't add to that. Don't do it. Unless it comes out of your soul like a rocket, unless being still would drive you to madness or suicide or murder, don't do it. Unless the sun inside you is burning your gut, don't do it. When it is truly time and you have been chosen, it will do it by itself and it will keep on doing it until you die or it dies in you. There's no other way and there never was. Sorry for my dogs making noise. So yeah, I really like that piece and I actually do all those things. So I don't know, but it's funny. But yeah, I love that piece. All right, then I got a couple for y'all. Um, so these are all like kind of writing pieces, like about writing. This one I've done before, but I like kind of reworked it. So all right, and I kind of changed the title. So this one now is called I Got Writer's Block, but I still want to write a poem. If you've ever called yourself a writer, then you know the feeling of writing something so noteworthy, so profound that you can't wait for others to read it, listen to it, experience it. And if you call yourself a writer, then you also know the feeling of wanting to write something amazing, something earth-shattering, but when you try to transfer it on a page, dribble comes out. It's almost like you know what you want to say, but you're so stuck in your head. So sure that your writing won't measure up, that your ideas remain in the draft stage. But let's explore that further. Let's explore what that ideal piece would look like, breathe like, feel like. What does it sound like? What kind of poem do I want to write when there's no rules or guidelines? Just me and a page, because I think I want to write a poem. I want to write a poem not thinking in a meter or rhyme or spend hours obsessing over the first two or three lines over and over again. I want to write a poem that makes me laugh out loud as I come up with each line, and like static electricity makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. I want to write a poem and not feel guilty if it doesn't include every example of figurative language or use all the elements of poetry at the same time. I want to write a poem and not worry if a publishing editor will love my work. Maybe an audience loving it can be enough. I want to write a poem for me and not solely for write for an audience, though the reaction of an audience is honestly one of the biggest reasons I write. I want to write a poem where the words take the shape of a dragon as it's read, rising from the page while blowing clouds of smoke over your head. I want to write a poem that sparks the change I wish to see. I want to write a poem that allows me to levitate on stage while holding a microphone in my hand. I want to write a poem that makes me forget that I used to be terrified of performing for an audience. See, this is the poem that I want to write, a poem that takes no prisoners, a poem that breaks conventions. This is the poem I need to write, express, perform, a poem that grabs you by the shirt collar and forces you to pay attention. I'm only going to do one more because my dog needs some water. So this is my, all right. And then this one is just called Evolution of the Pen. And this is new. All right. So have you ever wondered how writing originated? Because I know I have, and I know that I read somewhere that the ancient Sumerians of Mesopotamia were first in creating a form of written communication, but it wasn't until the ancient Egyptians that an alphabet was created. You might be thinking, I already learned this in social studies. I don't need another history lesson, fam. But stay with me, because 20 years ago, I discovered a foreign language that kind of resembled poetry, but to me was so much better because it combined elements of hip hop, theater, and comedy. And somehow this language attached to my soul like a symbiote. And the mastery of this language allowed me to join forces with artists who also use words to move crowds. See, back then I called it spoken word. Now I just call it slam. And this is when I frequently penned poems and poetry journals that I carried around and protected as if it was the holy grail while bouncing back and forth through the city like a steel ball in a pinball machine. However, now instead of using a pen, I just use my index finger to rapidly stimulate my phone screen until letters come across the screen and form into poetic structures that then erupt with words flowing like lava, then bouncing rhythmically like musical notes, initially sounding flat until achieving the most perfect pitch, like a guitar with freshly tuned strings, but that's the present. In the future, I often wonder how will writing keep evolving, because often I do think that it might just all turn into artificial intelligence, which chooses words for us through algorithm science and a database. What if we all have to rely on telepathy, then record our stories through symbols, like the alien creatures for some of my favorite sci-fi movies, which should be kind of like moving forward, but then taking a step back, I guess. And will we even need poets or the magic of creativity? And will I even need to continue my writing ritual where I listen to Kid Cudi and Sublime while drinking pale ale and sweatpants and my favorite Bob Marley t-shirt for inspiration? I'm not sure, I guess, because however I write, I just want to make sure that 20 years from now, I'm still writing, slamming, and dreaming in some way, shape, or form. And I want to make sure that creativity is valued like a precious pearl found at the bottom of the ocean. And I want to make sure that there's still people hungry for knowledge and self expression. And that I'm still using my writing as a tool to combat even the most crippling depression and not letting the repression of thoughts and creativity ever bring me to the point of thinking that this isn't essential a part of life. Because it is, and one day this writing thing may just be all that we've got. Poem. Thank you for letting me share. Wild Poet 82 on IG.
Hell yeah, man. Love those pieces so much. Man, I want to even clip them and share them. Dude, thanks for making it. Awesome.
Oh, thank you. Sorry for coming late.
No worries at all. You made it. We're still here, so that's awesome. I want to share those with some students, man. Such a teacher. All right. Okay. We got a couple more performers left tonight, everyone. Again, I want to thank everyone who's hung out with us in the live chat all night. You guys are awesome. Again, we're here every Monday, so if you do feel like you want to share something, the way to sign up is in the link in the description. So just be on the lookout for future links, and I'll make sure that they're not messed up like today. That's never happened. That was a new thing. So for as long as we've been doing this, new stuff pops up. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and come back to we're gonna go to Washington, D.C., so nearby where we've got Ed Poetastic on standby with some jokes and some poems. All right, Ed, when you're ready, take it away, my friend.
Hello, my brother, like no other words like thunder. And hello, my name is Ed Potassil and Fit Fantastic. Please, it's time to join my rhyme. 5 Sublime. Hope everyone's going to have a heck of a time. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hope everyone's feeling green or anything in between. I have 13 St. Patrick jokes. Oh, nice shirt, kid. You're always a hit. I have 13 wonderful St. Patrick's Day jokes. I have 2 poems from our wonderful Tumble Words. And I got 2 other poems. Okay, the first joke is, what's green and sings? Elvis Parsley. What do ghosts drink to celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Booze. Why do people wear shamrocks to celebrate St. Patty's? Because real rocks are too heavy. How can you tell if a potato isn't Irish? When it's a French fry. Why can't you iron 4-leaf clovers? Because you should never press your luck. What's a leprechaun's favorite movie? Green Lantern. Oh, actually, here's something for the audience. I have a knock knock joke. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Sherwood.
Sherwood who?
Sherwood like to find a pot of gold?
Ah, you got me.
Knock knock.
Huh, busy night. Who's there?
Accordion.
Accordion who?
According to the calendar, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, well, thanks.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Wooden shoe.
Wooden shoe who?
Wouldn't you like to hear another knock knock joke?
No.
Knock knock.
Who's there? Gwen who?
When will these St. Patty's knock knock jokes ever end? Knock knock.
Who's there?
Kenya.
Kenya who?
Can you fetch me a pint of Guinness? Knock, knock.
Who there?
Yeah.
Yeah, who?
Yeah, who I'm excited for St. Patrick's Day too.
Mm.
And my last, knock, knock.
Who there?
Irish.
Irish who?
Irish, you're a very happy St. Patrick's Day. Cheers around. Hope you love those wonderful sounds. I got more in store for an encore, probably next week. But my first poem is Rise. Rise from the injustice that sends out acid rain. Rise from the malice that executes inner pain. Rise from the bias that kills precious bonds. Rise from the envious that tinkles in our pond. Rise from the negativity that creates storms. Rise from the contradictory that chained us inside our dorms. Rise from the challenge that helps strengthen our hearts. Rise from the ledge that helps fuel our tiny sparks. Rise from the end that shines a new dawn. Rise from the beginning that moves our bodies to go on. Thank you. And my other one's called My Flag. My flag was trampled long ago by other expectations and egos. My flag was rolled around dirt. Boy, the rocks, stones, and mud hurt. My flag is a part of the tapestry of history, colors of positivity and negativity in harmony. My flag was engulfed in a hurricane, swallowed up by gales of sharp pain. My flag was taken and stolen from me. They took it, but not ingenuity or dignity. My flag walks with the bright sun. The warmth was joyful and fun. My flag was burned into ash, mistaken from garbage or trash. My flag waves for change and love, soaring with the robins and doves. My flag want to instantly inspire all, to be emotional, but not like a wall. My flag dances wild and true, dancing in the wind by poets like you. Thank you. And my other one is called Oh My Love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry for the where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Sorry about that. Oh my love, 1,000 kisses from you is never far too much. I just don't want to stop. Oh my love, a million days in your arms never much. I just don't want to stop. Never too much, never too much, never too much. I love you, how deserts love the rain. You're my glue, the coat in the pouring pain. You're my screw, the boat that keeps me sane. You're my honeydew, the fish swimming my blue. You're my moon, the light in my pitch dark night. You're my balloon, you take me to better heights. You're my lagoon, you're the wind for my kite. You're my cocoon, you're the shield of my spite. You're my cartoon, you're my joyful ray of insight. How could I love you more? I can't count the ways. You fill my bloody core, set my darkness ablaze. You are what I live for, the nouns of my essays. You're the gift I can't ignore. You're the sun from my days. You're everything that I adore. You're the swan in my ballet. You're everything that a chore. You're something I can't paraphrase. You are nevermore, but furthermore. I can go on and on, but what more can I say? I'm here if you want to listen to more. Thank you. And my last one is a St. Patrick's piece. This is called Here to the Irish. Here's to the Irish, the special breed, that race that laughs at sorrow, the race that cries when happiness shows its face tomorrow. Here's to the Irish, the blarney, the saucy faced colonels, to the tenders singing Danny Boy, to their golden colored dreams. Here's to the Irish, and to your arrow isles. Let's pause and raise a glass or two to leprechauns and banshees, to the corned beef, cabbage, and stew. Here to the Irish, and roaring of the green, to St. Patrick's mighty thunderous hand, when he trod that hand-packed Irish soil and bashed snakes throughout the land. Here's to the Irish, to his magic and his jigs, to the river of Shannon, bright and bold. My shamrocks steal your heart away and lead you to that pot of gold. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for the set, Ed. How can people watching and listening catch you online?
You can catch me online while coming to this wonderful, stupendous, potastic open mic that makes our mind light, such a light in the wonderful, potastic spotlight. All right, but if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman 92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my potastic inside. If you send me a question, you take guess, the answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Never stop spewing the words outside your chest. Now stop feeling and being and doing your best. And always remember that you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow and never ever stop your glow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show. Woo! Happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right, thank you, Ed. Love it, love it. Okay. Next up, and our last performer of the night, at least this time around, and he's ready, so we're ready to go, even though he's upside down. Ladies and gents and Emmys, we got Dan the Man to close out the show. Dan, when you're ready, take it away. What up?
Oh, what the? Oh crap! I'm upside down. That can't be right. Hold on a minute. Give me a minute.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Today is. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Yep. As you know, I am still, and yep, we are damn right. We are wearing green, and with, yep, if you know what I mean. Yep. And hang on, where's that bookmark? I'm trying to look. Ah, here it is. Yep, I am wearing green. Yep. Be lucky you didn't get pinched. If you get off of a pinch, well, yeah, be lucky. If you didn't wear green, you're gonna get pinched. Yep. Just like according to the Cowboy James Storm, sorry about your damn luck. Yeah. Yeah, who needs a duck? Who needs a green duck? So, well, for all, for all the silly hockey puck, and all this horse struck. Yeah, like who gives a explosive to read? Well, I could say pluck or muck or buck. Yeah, it's your buck, Chuck. Yep. So, yep. So the green so the green has to be the clean, as always, the queen of screen, for St. Patrick's Day to be in the machine, and it's all, and green is the mob scene. Yep, like The Departed or Black Mass or the Boondock Saints. That's green. That's mean. Lean and mean. And it's always like in the movie screen. Yep. So it is the day after 16. Yep. We wear St. Patrick's Day. We wear green. Yeah. Okay. If it's all right, I'm gonna share a screen. Richie. Okay. There we go. Okay. As you may know, a couple of weeks back, someone I know passed away a long time ago. A couple of weeks ago, and someone I knew passed away a long time ago. Oh, wait. That's not the picture. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get that. Sorry about that. Yeah. Come on. Oh, wait, not it. That's not it. Camera. Come on. Oh, you're ungrateful. Thank you. Here it is. Yeah. Someone I know through a brother. I knew his brother, who was a friend of mine. Um, Blaine Whitaker. Actually, they call him by his middle name, but they call him Jonathan Blaine Whitaker. He passed away a couple of weeks ago after a long battle of illness. I say he was a fighter, a trail lighter, but it was never an all-nighter. So, but I've written something dedicated to him yesterday at State Line. Everybody were saying a few words. So, here it is. Blaine never. Was always. I knew through his brother Jesse, and who was a friend, and we never met on the plane or a train, and neither in the state of Maine. Yeah. Well, right here close to the state line, and always a fine. That's here in Texas. Well, we use a plane get here, but here in the Cowboy's tale, a fond memory lane, pics of a bonfire he likes, and somewhere in the desert trail has blissful memories that don't expire, but something to inspire. Blaine, my friend, Blaine, you are missed, my friend. You are missed. Never expect it was the end. Never expect for you was the end. But always in spirit, till we meet again. Rest easy, Blaine. Yeah. So always my condolences out to the Whitaker family, especially dear friends though who knew him very well. Okay. Uh-oh. You doing that? Hang on. Okay. 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 And there's one more picture. I'm gonna make it fast and okay. Hold on. Come on. Okay, let me. Kidding. I don't have time for that. Come on. Okay, let me see here. No, not that. Not that. Not that. Okay, I don't have the picture. I'm sorry. Well, oh wait, I do have something. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. My friend Fabian Dixon. He was a friend of mine who passed away last October. But I made a quick poetry. I hope you'll like. Fabian, my friend, never expect it was the end. We were hoping to make amends. I'm here to attend, celebrating you from day to night. No dark but light. Your spirit is always with us in sight. Soon we will reunite. Rest easy, my friend. Yeah. So always my thoughts and prayers out to one of my best friends, his family, and also dear friends we knew very well, especially another one of my best friends, everybody we know very well. So. Okay. All right, guys, that's my time. So, guys, follow me on Instagram. Get my latest episodes on YouTube. I'm gonna upload two of my special edition interviews from the Lost interviews, and just and the episode I did earlier today, the update. So, all right, guys. Yeah, wait till midnight. Then you can lose the green. So, as of right now, wait until nighttime, and don't get pinched or you get fight out like a big Irish light. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Keep wearing green, and again, or it's sorry about your damn luck, according to the Cowboy James Storm. Okay. All right, Richie. Let's go ahead and call it a night.
What if you're not last, Dan? Just
Ha!
kidding. Just kidding. Hey, Well, thanks for that. That was a journey, man. Lot in that set. Sorry about your friends there. But it's always nice to give tribute, when it feels fit. Thank you guys for hanging out
Appreciate
with us
condolences.
on
Thank you.
Monday. Yeah. Hey, so we'll be back next Monday. Tuesday, if you're in the El Paso area, catch us downtown at Mona Bar. Next week we'll be at Rosewood on Tuesday, and the Writers' Night at Proof and Press, and Thursday at Old Sheepdog. That's all next Thursday. Until then, if you're free this Thursday, March 20th, come through and hang out with us at International. Hang out with me at International. I'll be doing some poetry with Inanna and Kiwi. Well, two poets, awesome poets. It'll be fun doing some stuff with them. But yeah, have a great week, guys. Keep fighting the good fight. We'll see you next Monday. For the online mic, my name is Rich. Peace.